finally a Sunday evening and I'm filming again. You can see the little kitty's got a mouse. He's going to get his balls cut off tomorrow, but he's still doing his job. Yeah, he's got it. Haven't filmed in a couple of days because we've both been sick all through the weekend. I'm pretty sure that something I bought from a store around these parts gave us food poisoning, in addition to having ear, nose, and throat problems. Savage. He goes in the morning to get fixed. But yeah, don't lose that little bastard and let him come back in my house. Come on, kitty. This is exactly why you get kitties. Because they kill mice. Just watched Kyle Busch get pointed out of the NASCAR championship, which sucks because that's my driver. And if you don't like Kyle Busch, you can not like me. That's just fine. Whew. Cut my hair because I feel like this is probably going to be the last week where it's not down below freezing. If I don't cut my hair, my scalp gets, well, and my hair is just, ugh. Anyway, it's Monday morning. It's about 45 degrees outside. You can see in the backdrop, the leaves are in a full color change. It's been a long weekend of I'm on the other side of the funk. I still got some lingering nonsense in my chest, but man, it's 9 days, I think. That bug was, well, I'm still dealing with it, so it'll probably be 12 or 15 by the time I'm all the way back better. I got a lot worse before it got any better. Her and I have been wrapped up in blankets on the couch, going from the couch to bed, from bed to the couch all weekend. But in addition to when we went and saw the general practice doctor a while back, oh, that is disgusting, cat. I can't even look at that. She's eating a can of kitty food because the little guy's at the vet. Currently, the wife took him to the vet this morning. I had to pick him up in about 7 hours. He's sorry, little guy, but yeah, he got the snip. Oh my God, she can't even hardly eat a can of cat food anymore without getting it all over the place. I just need to probably take her and have her put down. Oh, it's sad. Anyway, feeling better. I got a whole list of shit that I got to go get from the hardware store at some point today. At least try to get at the hardware store. Out of the 10 or 12 things that are on the list, I'll probably only be able to find 4. And then I'll have to drive to another hardware store that'll have 4 things. And then I'll have to try to find the rest of that probably on the internet. But the problem with ordering things from the internet is that everything's on back order. Supply chain shortage. Nobody has anything and everything's on back order. We did finally were able to get a confirmation on a stovepipe kit. I got the stove moved into the house, but I need to put a leg on it. I need to fix the handle. I need to do a few things before that stovepipe kit gets here. I was waiting for wasn't going to waste my time working on that stove if I couldn't find a proper insulated piece for it to go through the wall. At some point this week, I need to get up underneath of my house and try to jack up the floors underneath of my kitchen, because they've settled about a half of an inch in the last 6 months, and I'm not cool with that. That's where we're at. I'm on the other side of it. I did mention I've got a scar here by my eye. A couple people in the, maybe it's this one over here. Long time ago when I was driving a logging truck, back in like 2008 in Washington State, I was trying to put chain wrappers around some logs, and the chain binder, you got the cheater bar, the chain binder slipped out of the cheater bar and came back and busted me right there. I mean, if that had been, I about lost an eye. Anyway, that's enough babbling for now. Seeing as it is a Monday morning and the hardware store is always busy, I'm going to wait about another hour before I head down that way. I'm going to go back in the house and probably drink a cup of broth, and we'll go to the hardware store and we'll see what I can come up with for some content for this week, whether it's repairing the wood stove or mowing the grass, because it's literally been raining for, today's first day it hasn't rained, and well, and longer than I've been sick, I'll tell you that much. It's rained every day for probably the last 2 weeks. Everything is really soggy. I need to cut my grass, but I got all winter to cut the grass. It ain't growing no more. So anyway, so I figured while I'm waiting to go to town, I'd explain here. See, my little hot pepper plant has absolutely beautiful peppers on it, and I've got probably 2.5 gallons of these peppers in the freezer, bag-wise. I'm watching the weather, and as soon as it's going to be a hard freeze, like this plant and these peppers will be hardy, down to about 30. So once there's a hard freeze expected, I'm going to come out and pick all these peppers. And I got another one over there that's all full of peppers that's twice the size of this plant. And that's when I'm going to, like, once I've got all of the peppers, I'm going to make hot pepper jelly. And I don't know if that's going to be a standalone video or if that'll just be something that'll be in the middle of one of these videos. But I'm going to make hot pepper jelly, and I'll show you how I do it. There was a little snip of the jalapeno blackberry jam that I made, but I didn't really go into detail about that. But as soon as we're expecting a hard freeze, all these peppers are coming in, and I'm going to start canning jam. So that'll be something to look forward to. One of these days, all this once the potato foliage dies off, I'll dig up my potatoes that I've got growing in there. Got this big kale, some sort of a spicy kale that you literally can pick one leaf and cut it up and make a salad out of it. The rest of that's weeds. I'll go through the process of showing you, it'll be the same time as the hot pepper jelly, how I'm going to dry, because this is dill, and I'll take you through the process of how it is I'm going to dry the dill. I don't quite know how to dry parsley, but I know how to dry dill, and I know how to dry cilantro, so it shouldn't be a whole lot different to dry parsley. But I really only like parsley when it's fresh. I don't really, like, I've never even really cooked with dried parsley before. I like it fresh on things. These little green onions right here are dynamite, but I've got wild onions growing everywhere that are better than the ones I planted, so we're not really even eating those. Still getting a few green tomatoes that I'm waiting again on the freeze to pick the last of the season. There goes the car. Oh, Vic, my brother and I had a joke. We used to make fake radio station when I was a kid, and he once upon a time was like, there goes the car. And that's something that he and I can laugh about. But yeah, somehow this fucking tomato is still flowering and producing little tomatoes that are, that's an ugly damn plant, but it's still producing. That one's dead as shit. The creek is back flowing. which is nice. It has been raining for, like I said, 2 weeks. Anyway, I just got a text message from my wife. I got to stop this and respond.
No, I call that strange. I call that you.
So it's funny, I randomly got some messages from Bubbles today. He asked me to come out here and take some pictures. So you can thank Bubbles for me being out here wandering around. Actually looking at game trail, because I can tell something's coming up in here and something's going down over there. At some point in the next week or so, I'm going to sit out here with that long rifle that we lined up in the last video, and might like sit over there on one of those logs and just wait for something to walk. And I mean, I could probably literally shoot something with a pistol out here. Wouldn't even need a long gun, but we'll see. 'Tis fall. So once upon a time, I had mentioned that there was a cast iron stove that looked like it got dropped out of a airplane. That's blatantly the opening for it. There's not much left of it. This is actually just past the edge of my property. Something moving. Thankfully I got a gun on my side. Yeah, there's the old cast iron stove. It literally looks like it was dropped out of an airplane. What a trip, man. Like, what's the story? Because, like, there's no possible way that there was ever a house right here. But then again, people dump their tires out here, too. And their styrofoam cups. And their bleach bottles. And just out here looking for game trails. I try to figure out where to sit in the coming weeks. That's new. Well, maybe it's not. I just don't remember that moldy ass log being there. And again, I haven't been up here since the kid left, because this was it was heartbreaking when she left. And a lot of the things that her and I used to like to do, like walk up and down this creek, I just stopped doing. Anyway, I try not to think about it. I have to compartmentalize things. Otherwise, I won't be able to go through my day-to-day life. Anyway, enough of that depressing ass shit. Boy, oh boy, Internet. Look at what finally came. Showed up in a big old Amazon Prime truck. Big old Class A fucking semi with air brakes. Guy gets out the truck and I come walking around, and this will give you an idea how far out in the woods we are. Okay, it took him 2.5 hours to get here from where he left. First thing the kid asked me was, "Y'all got any shine for sale?" Stovepipe kit finally came. I still got some work to do on this thing. I gotta put this gasket on there, but first I gotta fix the door because it doesn't have a, kind of hard to see because it's dark in my house. I have to turn on the light. It doesn't have a latch on the inside, so once I get a latch, I gotta put that on there. And it was damaged in shipping, so it's got a bent leg. We're waiting on the leg to come in the mail, but that rock will work for now. Now I get to figure out how to drill a hole in my wall, or cut a hole in my wall per se. I really hope there's some decent directions inside of this box. We will see. Alright, so it's been raining for 2 weeks. I don't remember whether or not I showed you. I put a tarp over the top of that, and I ran a ratchet strap around the outside of it because, you know, to keep the rain out. They got fresh bedding, minus the fact one of them shit the bed right there. But here's half of that bridge that broke that I just went ahead and screwed to the outside over there. And then I got a piece of scrap plywood that was actually part of the roof of my greenhouse when I lived in Charleston. Screwed to the back side of it. So that, because this is north and that's west. And when the air's blowing cold, 90% of the time up in these parts, it's from the north and the west. I'm going to work on finding another piece of scrap, something to put over on the other side so that it's at least sealed in on all three sides, because it's going to get down into the 30s tonight. Now you might look at that and see, this is what I've come up with. This is an absolute fucking mess because it's been, I've been trying to, I gotta come in here and clean this out. This is not acceptable, I understand that, but this is for when it's raining. I can put their food in that barrel. This chain, however, okay, so I can stand it up, dump the food in it, and lay it back down so that I'm not having to walk in here. Because contrary to popular belief, these carabiners that I've got holding the fence together over here are a pain in the fucking ass to get the gate open and closed. And yeah, you can see that piece of wood is digging around on the side there, and they're actually eating it. So I may have to figure out something else for that as well. But I got to come through here and rake all this shit up, shovel it out, because it's been whatever leftover food, whatever food they don't like, they dig their paws in it and it or their hooves, excuse me, and it ends up all over the fucking ground like you see here. Because I'm down at the bottom of the barrel, I've got 2 brand new bags of feed in the back of the Subaru, but I'm trying to get, it's like a combination of 3 different feeds in the bottom of that barrel that are left over, that I'm trying to get through before I put the new feed in there, so that we can at least start the end of fall, beginning of winter, whatever this may be, with fresh feed. What say you, little guy? You gonna try to eat that part of your house too? This guy's become just like his mom, man. He's a naggy little fucker. They've been quiet today. It's been kind of nice. They just kept to themselves. The leaves are falling at such a rate. If you look around, they've just been snacking on leaves all day. So, what you doing, girl? You sure shit ain't looking at me. Yeah, it's cold. Ain't nothing I can do about the weather. Best get used to it. Well, what's up, folks? Well, I got on my fancy duty insulated Carhartt overalls that my lovely wife bought me. Surprised me with once upon a time, because we'd looked at them at a store and they were on clearance, and that was when she went back to Charleston. She stopped because I didn't want to spend the money, because even on clearance they were like $70. I didn't want to spend the money. She likes looking at my butt in them. I don't know. Anyway, I'm in much better spirits, and I had an issue with my sugar drop this morning, because I ate something yesterday for lunch. I ate a shitty little freezer pizza that I knew better than to eat, but it messed with my stomach, and I didn't eat much yesterday. And then I got up and left the house this morning, run down to the Dollar General and pick up a couple of things. My sugar dropped, and I was just not feeling it. I came home and I ate some cheese and I drank a little thing of Sunny D, and it didn't help. And so that took me a little while. But that was my own fault because I didn't eat. Otherwise, I'm in much better spirits. You can see it in my eyes. I'm feeling much better. Ran the weed eater for about 3 hours today so far. There's nothing new to show you. The stove didn't get installed because I got down to it, and I decided to seek assistance from somebody who had installed one before. And that individual is coming Saturday to help me with that particular portion of it, because I'm not entirely sure. My house is kind of built like a barn, in a sense that, like, it doesn't have regular intervals of studs in the walls. It's built out of like 2x10 rough cut planks, and it's got a header and a footer and an occasional 4x4. So we got to figure out. I'm probably going to have to cut a whole section of the wall, of the drywall, out and build a frame and attach it. It's the damnedest thing, the way this house is put together. The more I try to work on this house, the less I want to work on this house, because it's like a house of cards. I feel like one wrong move and like a whole half of the house is going to fall down or something, just because I'm not familiar with the way that it's built. I didn't build it, and it definitely was not built to code with a stud on every 18 inches. So, that being said, I'm waiting for somebody who has worked construction a good majority of their life to come out on Saturday, excuse me, at some point, and help me with that. And I just need them to help me with the through-the-wall portion. I can figure out all the rest of the stove piping. I just want another opinion of somebody who's worked on houses that are built like this, on what the best way to do that is, you know. And then going forward, knowing how to do such with the way that this house is built, it'll be helpful. So whatever that costs me is what that cost me. It's going to dip down. It's been cold, man. It's going to be like 25 degrees tonight. And my little space heaters are not doing the trick. I'd probably been done froze to death if I didn't have my wife to snuggle with at night. Anyway, that's another week's video. Little kitty is doing well. You'd never even know we got fixed, to be honest with you. Big girl is doing all right, sort of. I should say bitch kitty, doing all right. We're waiting on another kitty. We're going to get another little orange kitten. We're just waiting on, it's got to be enough time to pass. Anyway, that's it for this week. See you next week.